Some people don't just sense darkness, they bounce it back with such clean precision that the one who sent it feels the sting tenfold. You may have met souls like this, quiet, grounded, almost ordinary on the surface, yet surrounded by an atmosphere that will not host malice. Their presence is not a ritual or a spell. It's an instinctive intelligence of energy, a mirror that returns every dart to its sender, sharper, clearer, and carrying the weight of truth. When negativity flies toward them, whispers, jealousy, sly curses, or the heavy air of ill will, they do not drink the poison. They metabolize it, decode it, and send it home. This is not vengeance. This is balance. It's the ancient law of return written into the nervous system, the breath, the gaze. Today, you will discover which signs carry this built-in shield, how their inner armor works, and why testing them is like throwing a stone at a mountain and expecting the rock to argue back. Before we go deeper, anchor yourself for a moment. Has life ever answered someone who hurt you with a consequence you didn't orchestrate? Have you seen a pattern where harm ricochets? If this resonates, share your date of birth and your zodiac sign in the comments so we can recognize the patterns playing out in your story. And if you feel your spirit is only beginning to wake to a power you can't yet name, subscribe to Signs and Secrets now so you don't miss the guidance that speaks to that power as it matures inside you. We call things by their true names here. No drama, no superstition, only the way energy behaves when it is aligned with order. The first sign is Virgo. Virgo carries an old gift that few talk about openly, the art of mirroring harm without rage, without spectacle, and without leaving fingerprints. It is not theatrics, it's calibration. Direct malice toward Virgo, gossip, envy, slander, the accidental curse tucked into a thought, and the system inside this sign wakes up like a fine instrument. Virgo doesn't swallow toxins, Virgo processes. The mind becomes a lab. Weigh, sort, classify, isolate. Through that careful intelligence, the attack is repatterned, stripped of disguise, and quietly returned to the address of origin. Not with a shout, with surgical clarity.
The secret is the Virgo field, an analytical lattice that notices shifts others miss. A sudden heaviness in the room, a prickle on the skin, a flicker in the current of attention. Words aren't needed, proof isn't needed. The structure itself registers the distortion and flips a hidden switch. Reflection begins. Often, Virgo doesn't even register that anything magical happened. The operating system simply declined the program and sent it back corrupted with truth. This is why lying about Virgo is a contract with consequences. Every false sentence signed against them is a pre-written bill with interest. The more unfair the accusation, the more pronounced the rebound. People who try to smear Virgo often meet a sequence of subtle collapses. Projects stall, alliances unravel, health dips, confusion fogs judgment. They can't trace the cause because Virgo never flailed. Virgo never fought loud. Virgo allowed the law of return to do what the law always does. There is more. Virgo doesn't only repel harm, Virgo repairs terrain. After an energetic intrusion, Virgo rebuilds boundaries, updates protocols, and quietly offboards the offender from their inner circle. Fate helps. Information stops flowing to the wrong mouths. Traps snap back on the setter. Manipulations tangle their own threads. Because Virgo is not exacting revenge, Virgo is re-establishing rightness. Their energy is a reflector. What you send is what you receive, amplified by clarity.
Sagittarius is tuned to higher laws, the great ledger that keeps accounts when humans pretend there are none. They don't always know who the saboteur is. They don't need to. The arrow of intent flies further than the mouth that launched it. When Sagittarius senses manipulation, false light, or betrayal, they do not brawl. They step back. That step is enough. In the space created, the karmic circuitry does what it has always done. Everything sent circles back, sometimes tomorrow, sometimes next month, always on time. The retribution rarely announces its origin. A chain of inconveniences becomes a landslide. Delays multiply, opportunities thin, relationships show their fractures. What began as just a thought or just a rumor returns as a lesson with flame at its edges. Sagittarius does not need to curse. They understand that what is deserved arrives without ceremony. Their fire is not petty rage. It's the light of truth. Try to smother it, and you'll only make sparks in the wrong places. Here's the detail few mention. The Sagittarius field doesn't only mirror, it magnifies. Where there was backbiting, isolation grows. Where there was control or covert pressure, money leaks. Where there was jealousy, a hollowing. It's as if the energy itself keeps double-entry books. Not one action goes unrecorded, not one intention remains unmeasured. Sagittarius trusts this, which is why they don't waste heat on keeping score. Their inner sun has better things to do. Yes, they can forgive, but they do not rebuild a bridge to a proven arsonist. Once they see the architecture of harm, the bridge collapses and the builder of that bridge stands alone in the smoke. Protection peels away from the saboteur. Their luck feels thinner, not because Sagittarius hexed them, but because Sagittarius is a carrier of truth, and truth withdraws power from deception. Even their silence exposes lies. Even the turned back is a verdict. Evil aimed at Sagittarius never lands where it's intended. It pivots midair and becomes consequence.
Pause here to breathe. If the patterns of return already speak in your life, add your date of birth and zodiac sign in the comments so our community can hold your story in the right light. And if you're finding strength in this clarity, consider subscribing to Signs and Secrets to keep walking with teachings that honor your intuition. Midway reminder, if this insight helps you feel less alone or more protected, tap like now. It tells the rhythm of this space to keep bringing you exactly what supports your path. The third sign is Capricorn. Calm, disciplined, dignified, so understated that careless people mistake composure for softness. They don't see the granite under the skin. But anyone who has pushed a Capricorn with malice learns quickly the shell is not empty. It is a fortress built on law. Capricorn doesn't chase conflict, doesn't throw curses, doesn't grandstand. They simply continue. And as they do, all the malice flung behind them turns of its own accord and bites its maker. Capricorn's field is engineered for backlash, the pure kind, the kind without theatrics. Wish ruin on them and watch structures in your own life wobble. Lie about them and feel trust evaporate where you need it most. Envy them and drown in your comparisons. It's not a spell. It's the geometry of order. Capricorn holds that geometry like an old oath. Their protection isn't purchased or performed, it is embedded in consciousness. When Capricorn knows they are standing on bedrock, integrity, duty, truth, no contrarian current can punch through. Even ornate, esoteric attacks splinter against the mountain. Why? Because Capricorn is plugged into the older grid, the cold, high clarity of the peak. Truth echoes in that altitude and returns what does not belong. Note the tempo. Capricorn's justice is often slow, but it is relentless. A person may injure Capricorn and feel nothing for a season. Then the rain starts. Little misalignments, subtle shortages, a fog of consequence seeping from every seam. There's no dramatic thunderclap, just inevitability. Capricorn might never know an enemy existed. The accounting still happens, because the universe uses Capricorn as a corrector, mirror steady, unmoved, committed to equilibrium. There is another layer to Capricorn's shield. It refines the environment after shock. They audit boundaries, revise access, fortify the gates. Offenders find doors that once opened, now sealed by circumstances they cannot argue with. Life begins to say no to them in the exact places where they said no to truth. Capricorn didn't lift a finger to punish. They honored the order that punishes on its own. By now, you can feel the pattern. These signs do not need to lash out because reality itself becomes their advocate. The final sign in this quartet embodies that principle with the elegance of a scale. Libra. Charming, diplomatic, often graceful to a fault. People mistake that softness for vulnerability. In truth, Libra walks with one of the most exquisite energetic instruments in the Zodiac, a living balance that returns every vibration to its proper home. Attack a Libra's equilibrium and you are the one who falls out of balance. Libra doesn't have to push, plead, or preach. They hold center. Their field, harmonious, tuned, beautifully weighted, offers no foothold to malice. The aggression slides off, finds nothing to latch onto, and collapses into itself. Not out of revenge, out of correction. Libra is the balancer the universe trusts. Think of Libra as a cup. What you pour in is what it returns. Pour generosity, receive inspiration. Pour darkness, receive disarray. This principle switches from subtle to unmistakable when Libra lives true, when they choose love over pettiness, truth over performance, alignment over appeasement. Then their presence becomes a mirror trap. Hatred cannot stay lit in that air. It either burns itself out or boomerangs. Because Libra's senses are fine, they often know the moment something crooked aims at them. They don't panic. They rearrange the room. Attention shifts. Space is cleared. Distance is chosen. Energy isn't squandered on feuds. It is invested in strengthening the light that holds form. When that light thickens, not one arrow gets through. Keep shooting, and you only harm your shoulder.
Here is what outsiders miss. The smile may remain, the voice may be soft, and yet the internal pendulum has already swung justice into motion. Libra doesn't need names to make this work. The system locates the sender through resonance. Attack a bearer of balance and you'll collide with the mirror. You won't scratch it, you'll crack yourself. That is what Libra proves. Sometimes power is not the strike, it is the serenity that cannot be shaken. If you're seeing your own life coded in these truths, tell us your date of birth and sign in the comments so we can witness alongside you. And if you're new here, let this be your sign to subscribe to Signs and Secrets, because we release the kind of guidance that affirms what your intuition already knows. Also, if the way these laws of return are landing in your body feels supportive, press like now. It quietly tells the current of this channel to keep bringing you the teachings you're ready for. Now, let's connect the four shields. Virgo refines the attack with analysis and returns it clarified. Sagittarius catches the impulse in the realm of cause and sends back the karmic heat. Capricorn lets the mountain handle the stone, slow, inevitable, unbreakable. Libra tunes the entire room so that malice has nowhere to stand but the sender's own ground. Different mechanisms, one law. What you emit is already circling back. A gentle caution. These signs are not invincible because they are perfect. They are protected because they commit to alignment. Their mirror becomes most accurate when their choices honor truth. Anyone of any sign who steadies their heart in integrity will feel some of this law come to their defense. But for Virgo, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Libra, the circuitry seems pre-installed, like instinct. Don't play dog games with them.
Don't test the edges. If you cross the line, you will learn what lines are for.
What does this mean in practice? If you are Virgo, honor your laboratory. Discern without paranoia. Notice the twinges, the air changes, the structural clues. Don't drink bitterness. Filter and return it by refusing to host it. Your quiet is not weakness. It is the room where balance reassembles itself. Write this on your inner wall. I do not absorb poison. I reformat reality. If you are Sagittarius, trust your flame to handle what your hands don't need to touch. Step back when the pattern smells wrong. Do not waste arrows on small targets. Your alignment with larger laws is what keeps the books balanced. The more you live in truth, the faster the returns find their way home without you lifting a finger. If you are Capricorn, keep walking. Your dignity is a fortress. Do not be lured into battles beneath your altitude. The geometry of your spirit is already adjusting the angles around you. Those who try to carve into your stone will blunt their blades. Remember, time is working for you, even when nothing seems to be moving. If you are Libra, keep tuning your equilibrium. Your poise is not performance, it is protection. Refuse to host chaos, and chaos will have to live somewhere else, usually with the one who invited it. You don't need to prove your strength. You only need to remain aligned, and the scale will do what the scale has always done. For those who love or walk alongside these signs, respect their quiet boundaries. Do not mistake composure for permission. Do not confuse politeness with softness. If you have wronged them, repair honestly. The mirror remembers. If you have been protected by them, say so. If their steadiness has rescued you from your own storms, honor it. And for everyone listening, every sign, every path, let this be a guide to your own field. Refuse to circulate what harms you. Return it by declining to amplify it. Strengthen your clarity so that lies die of oxygen deprivation in your presence. Build habits of truth the way a musician builds calluses, slowly, daily, until the instrument sings without strain. You will feel the law of return begin to work for you, not against you.
Tell us in the comments your date of birth and your zodiac sign, not as a party trick, but so the community of signs and secrets can hold your timeline with reverence and notice how these patterns weave through your life. Share, too, a moment when life delivered a consequence you didn't have to deliver yourself. These stories remind the rest of us that justice breathes even when we can't see its chest rise and fall. If this voice resonates with you, subscribe to Signs and Secrets now so you travel with a family that names things as they are and helps you refine your gifts. And if something here steadied your heart, press like before you go. It's a small gesture that tells the river to keep flowing in your direction. May your field be clear, your mirror be clean, and your steps be guided by a truth that cannot be bribed. Subscribe for more guidance, and remember to like the video so this message keeps finding the people who need it next.